All right, how you doing? Welcome to my very first attempt at an instructional video for guitar. A couple things that I hope to achieve with this. One was to learn something that I felt was a little above my skill level and outside my comfort zone. And then two, see if I could actually turn around and explain it. I'm not a guitar teacher. I haven't really done a whole lot of lessons as far as that goes. But I wanted to see, if I could do a couple things that I felt would be challenging to do. So the song that I'm doing is by a Canadian band called Saga. It's called On the Loose. Most of the video will be covering the guitar solo because there's quite a bit of stuff going on in that. But I'll run through the verse and chorus patterns as well. But first up, I'll play a video of the band actually playing the solo part, and you can see guitarist Ian Crichton and how he shreds away at this. Now, if you know the song, you know what you're up against. If you don't know it, don't get intimidated by all the notes and stuff. I'm going to go through this at a very comfortable pace, and I'm going to break it down into parts. So have a look at the video, check it out. If you think it's something you want to learn, then I'll see you after the video. Okay, so you've seen the video of the solo. Don't be scared. We're going to do this at very slow tempo and make sure we get all the fingering and everything together and in the right positions and stuff. And I'm going to really reinforce the position part because there's going to be stuff in there that you've got to absolutely play in the right position. Okay, because there's going to be stuff that's like all inside of 4 frets. But if you're to do it the way some other people are doing it in videos, you're going to be like up here and then having to move down here and up here. It's a lot of wasted motion. What we're trying to go for is like an economy of motion, sort of. So we're going to start with the verse first because it's very simple. It's an F. Now you don't need me to play that with the sequence or anything. It is what it is. Now, the chorus starts for him, because he's got the 2-octave Music Man in that video. He starts on the 15th and 16th frets, 15th on the G string, 16th on the B, and he does this, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to start it on the 11th fret instead, and that'll give us that nice longer slide up. Right? Because what he's doing there, he's doing it up here, but we're going to do it here. He's going down to first position to the E flat, and then going so once more, super slow. The first thing you're going to hit is the 11th fret, B and E strings, barred with whichever finger is comfortable for you. I tend to do it with my 3rd finger, but it doesn't matter. Just and then down to the first position. So it's not that it's super difficult. It's just when you play it at speed, like at 130 BPM, which is what the song is at, then it becomes a bit of a nightmare if you're not used to moving around real fast. So don't sweat it if you miss a few times or it takes you a while to get that whole motion together, because it's not so much that the notes are all that tricky, it's just that whole. So you notice what I did was slide the F up. And at the end of that phrase, he does a little flourish of, he does it differently in the live videos that I've seen. He changes it sometimes. But what I just do for simplicity is go F, G, A. So F, G, A, B flat, C, right? So, but mute it with your palm, and you can alternate pick it. It's not super noticeable, but it is there. And he does play it in different places sometimes, but we'll just do it there because that's where we've already landed. Now, if you want, when you do that, you can go back to the E flat on the A string and do, sorry. But it's just more economical to do it all there, right? And in the video that I've watched and all the videos that I've seen him do it, he does it in first position, so. And that's that section. Now, the first part of the solo, you're going to start on the B flat, which is going to be the 11th fret of your B string, and you're going to start with your second finger, and it's a very simple. So that's you're going to play that twice. And then you're going to play the exact same thing on the E string in the same position. And then we do that, the scale that comes after that, which we're going to bar the 10th fret from your D string up to your E, but you're not actually playing the E. You're going to start again with the B flat, and you're going to play this descending. So having that bar makes it a lot easier because you need to get that last note in there. Right. So just to recap, we'll run through it at 110 BPM. So now that we've got that part covered, after you hit that 13th fret, you're going to go down, and you have to do it this way, okay? There's no exceptions here, and I'll explain why. You have to start this on the E flat with your pinky finger, 4th finger, on the 6th fret of the A string, because this whole pattern can be played inside of these 4 frets here, right? If you try doing it elsewhere, what you're going to end up having to do is move from like your 2nd finger down to your pinky finger. So your hand's going to be going like this for absolutely no reason, okay? I've seen a number of videos that play different variants on that, and when you watch the video of Ian playing, you can clearly see it, that he does this. Starting on the E flat, and you're going to hit the F and G. So, and then you're going to do a chromatic run from the E flat down to the C. That's the second part of that little section. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to hit your E flat and then the G and then the B flat, G, and then you're going to bar the 3rd fret and just pick the B and then G string and slide out. Now that is pretty fast to be practicing if you're playing that for the first time. So if you want to take it down to 80 or whatever works for you and allows you to play all the notes properly and, you know, to a beat, it's really important to play to a beat, because all of this stuff like the 16th note picking, right, all that stuff has got to be tight with the hi-hat and the drums and everything else, and there's stuff that hits shots with the snare, right? So it's really, really good for your overall sense of timing to play to a beat of some sort, right? All right, so the next part in the solo, after we do the, this is where we slide up, and we're going to start with our 4th finger on the 13th fret of the E string, and we're going to play, I'll just play the scale by itself first without the emphasis that he does. It's going to be these notes. So all right, now after you've done that little riff of, you're going to go down to the 2nd fret. Now this is where I'm going to insist again that you play it this way, because it's going to make sense, and it's way more economical in terms of motion and energy and everything else. And it's also how he does it. And you'll see why this all makes sense once we put it all together. So you're at the A on the G string, 2nd fret. And you're just going to play a chromatic up to C. And you're going to do that like 4 times. Sorry, 2 times, and then it's going to be. And then back to. So you get why I want you to do it here. All right, because that's just a 1 fret movement, right? If you're trying to do it up here, first of all, it doesn't sound the same. It's got that really nice biting sound to it. And again, this is where he plays it, all right? But if you want to cheat, I'm not going to show you. So, again, A on the 2nd fret, on the G string. 3rd time is. And then back to the E flat. Now, again, this is another one of those parts. Play it with a rhythm of some kind, play it slowly. Whoops. Right. And then it all just starts over again. All right, so we're going to just do a little playthrough. I've notched this down to 100 BPM to make it a little easier, give you more time to think and remember where your fingers are going to be going. It's going to be messy. Don't worry about it. If you can't keep up to the sequencer, don't worry about it, man. I'm going to mess this up too. I guarantee it. Okay. We're all in the same boat, as I said. So let's just try and get through it, have fun, and eventually we'll get it all together and we'll just be like, okay? So, from the very top of the solo on the B flat. End on the E flat and then go up, because that's where the singer comes back in. All right, so we've covered everything. We've covered the solo and the verse and chorus parts. I'm gonna try and play out on the full 130 version of this, so you can see how messy this gets when you try to go too fast. As I said, keep practicing it. Use a tempo of whatever you can find, a metronome. There's all kinds of stuff online you can get. And just make sure you got a beat, because it's really important when you're picking a lot of those notes, 16th notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, that you're getting them in the right places. But don't worry about how fast, okay? Because I'm about to show you how bad it can get when you try to go fast. All right. So in the meantime, if you have any questions, keep them to yourself. Now you can put them in the comments. And if I decide to do this again. And if Ian Crichton doesn't come to my house and beat me to death with my own guitar, I will catch you guys again later.